Hey you, what it do? It's your boy Robdoesitall coming to you live and direct from 220 miles, 354 kilometers above the Arctic Circle in Tromsø, Norway. We got good news today, and that good news is that yes, Lindsay, reindeer treats are still 25 cents. So if you're new here today, a little bit about me. My name is Robdoesitall. I am a former athlete. They got involved in drugs and crime, using, selling, went to prison for 5 years, paroled from the hole, which means I was in solitary confinement when I was released. I got out, got clean, became a Bering Sea fisherman, started traveling the world and living my dreams. And now I live in Norway, and life is good, man. I gotta say, man, life is good. It just, I just feel so blessed every day to be living the life I have. And so today I wanted to do a video on how to travel the world with felonies, because as I've spent quite a number of years in prison, I know a lot of people that have felonies, and there's a lot of misconceptions. Like, a lot of people will be like, you know, I get questions like, you know, how do you travel the world? How do you do this? I thought you couldn't get a passport when you have felonies. And I just want to dispel all those rumors, because look, I got them, and I got passport stamps everywhere. Boom, 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 boom. I've been to 33 countries, and I've been in 6 countries this year. Like, I travel. So I just want to let y'all know how you can do it as well. So the first step you're going to need is you got to get your passport. You know, I got a lot of European friends, and they can't even believe that Americans like that don't have a passport. They're like, well, what do you have? And we just don't have them. I mean, I don't know. Like, before I started traveling, obviously, I never even thought about a passport. You know, I got my first passport. I'm trying to take my ex-girlfriend on a trip. And then I lost that passport and I had to get another one. And that one's for my boy's wedding in Dominican Republic, right? So, gotta get a passport. That means you gotta go to the post office, whatever you do, then go to courthouse, fill out the paperwork, do all that, get the passport. Now, you could get a passport if you have felonies. You can't get a passport if you are like on paper, like parole, probation, things like that. And if you have a passport while you're on paper, you have to turn it in to your PO, because it's like you're like a flight risk, you know what I mean? They don't want you to have that. They don't want you to have the ability to just bounce on them. I mean, you think about when you're on parole or probation, you can't even leave the state, though leaving the country, that's not gonna happen. So when you're on paper, your first priority when you're on paper should be getting off of paper. And that means you gotta do everything right. If you can't smoke, don't drink, go to all whatever NA meetings, do whatever they tell you to do, because getting off paper is the most important thing that you could do as a felon that just got out of prison or just got out of jail or whatever. Because, I mean, like a grown person, you don't want somebody micromanaging your life about what you can do and what you can't do. So get off the paper, then you'll be able to get the passport. Also, if you have like, if you owe child support, that could be a reason why you can't get a passport, or if you have one, they'll take it from you if you're in arrears with that. So pay up on that, and then you'll be good. But just like having felonies by itself, you can get a passport. Now, there may be some places that might not want to let you in, right? So, for example, Canada is notorious. Like for Americans. I'm American, by the way, if you don't know that. Canada is notorious for, like, I always heard that if you even had a DUI, you can't get into Canada. And while I do not have a DUI, never have one, ain't never gonna get one, I think it's levels, you know what I mean? As far as a DUI while also a felony seems to be more socially acceptable, or just, I guess, more normal than, like, say, having delivery of cocaine for possession of cocaine. You know what I mean? Like, having these charges. So, like, when I first went to Canada, I'm not gonna lie, I was nervous. I went for my boy's birthday. I was living in Oregon at the time. We drove up. And man, it took hours to get there, and the whole time I'm trying to pretend like, yeah, man, your birthday, like I'm Spark, but really inside, I was like, yo, I don't know if they're gonna let me in this border, man. We drove up here, what they gonna do? Am I gonna have to sneak across the border? Are they gonna leave me while they go, you know what I mean? And, I was really nervous. And they could, I liken it to if you at like the airport and you go through the little, you go through security and everything like that. They could pull you over and be like, no, we want to check you further. Like, do all the stuff. But they might just be like, you went through the little detector thing, and there you go. So when I was at the border, and when you're at the Canadian border, you have your passport. And you can't lie. There's a passport. And they say, yo, can we have your passport? Boom. Give it to them. They're going to look at it. What's your business here? Is it business? Is it pleasure, personal? Like, why are you coming to Canada? So, I'm like, yo, we got a whole bunch of skis and snowboards in the back. Like, we're going snowboarding. And they just looked. Okay. Boom. Gave me a stamp. And when you come from America, they won't even give you a stamp. But I really wanted a stamp because this was like one of my first countries I was traveling to. So I really, really wanted a stamp. And so I was excited about that. But I guess, I don't know. If they had taken it and typed into whatever computer data system they got, it's all right there. And they could have said no. I know that some musicians, entertainers, when they be trying to do concerts in Canada be like, nope. So, you can never really get mad about stuff like that because ultimately those are your actions and that's everything you did. You can never, I remember, like Ma Dukes, right? My mom, she always, moms, they love you. And I was like, your decisions today could affect the actions or whatever tomorrow. But you never think about that. Like when I was selling drugs, doing all that stuff, man, I never thought that I'd be living in Norway. I never thought that I would be in Berlin, Germany, looking at a TV tower, the Berlin Wall, be swimming in the Mediterranean Sea, be in Jerusalem and Israel, Lithuania. Like that, that just wasn't a possibility. You know what I mean? It wasn't reality. So I never thought about that. Plus I was just living for the moment. So, I didn't even know if I was going to be alive in 5 years or 10 years, let alone having a life and living in another country and doing all that. No. So you got to make sure you be thinking about today, what you're trying to do tomorrow, and have a plan for tomorrow, right? So there's Canada, though. Anyway, there's Canada. Also, the United Kingdom. United Kingdom, they can get on you about having felonies and be like, nah, we don't want to let you in. But again, that's like a case-by-case basis. And you kind of got to be high on the radar or something like that. Because I've been to UK too. I've been in London. I've been in Buckingham Palace, Big Ben, the Eye. I've been around. Look, you go on my Instagram, at Robdoesitall. All my social medias, at Robdoesitall. Everything. TikTok, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, everything, right? You can see all the pictures, right? So it can happen, you know what I mean? But again, you just got to be at their mercy. So I just want to let you know. But no, you could definitely travel. Definitely travel. And all you really got to do is you just go to the courthouse and get your passport. Fill out the papers, pay the money, it'll come in the mail. It's just like anything else. Trying to buy a plane ticket, go on a website, buy the plane ticket. If you can afford all them Jordans and the Gucci belts and everything like that, you could travel and just pick a place and just go. When I was first traveling, I just wanted to go to different countries. So it really didn't matter to me because I had never been anywhere. So I wanted to go everywhere. So I would just look for a cheap ticket and just go. And once you go to these other places, you're going to see that I don't know, life is cool. All these places, all these countries, the people are cool. Everything, I feel like everything you ever seen in movies or TV be lies. You know what I mean? You need to go see these places for yourself. And they need to see you as well because they got all these ideas about Americans. And I'm not going to hold you, to be honest. A lot of their ideas are factual. Because we kind of are stereotypes as Americans. But regardless, they still need to meet you so they can see for themselves in person. So that's all you gotta do. Get a passport, just go for it. Pick a country, any country, the cheapest one, wherever, and just go. But listen, don't think that the felonies hold you back. You know what I mean? It's not a life sentence, kind of is, but it kind of isn't, right? They will be on your record forever, but I mean, it's all about your energy, baby. If you got good energy, you can go anywhere. You could do anything. I'm everywhere. I'm anything. I do it all. Rob does it all. So, I mean, I'm living my dreams now. And that's really all you got to do. How to travel the world with felonies. I'm out.